Hello, everybody. How are you all? I hope you all are keeping fine. So, what can you see in the picture right here? You must be wondering, like, what this picture contains. Now, let us see the things. The first picture resembles a lemonade, second, some soup, third, tea coffee, fourth, potato fingers, yummy na? Fifth picture resembles sodium. Sixth, you can see some gold jewelry. Seventh, an iron gate, a big gate. Fifth, last picture resembles some dairy products containing calcium, right? So, why so many pictures like this are presented here? This resembles that in our daily life we are surrounded by things like this. This is what we are surrounded by, and what do we call these things? We call these things as matter. We call them as matter. Okay, we already knew that all the substances around us are made up of matter. In this video, we will learn that matter can be further classified into various categories. In our daily life, we use so many substances without knowing them whether what kind of matter they are. Today we will learn about different categories of matter. Right, student? Right. You're guessing it very right. The topic for today is elements, compounds, and mixtures. So, we are going to learn about elements, compounds, and mixtures. Let us take a look on the given picture. See here, we can see a picture. I have given the example of copper as element. Compound, I have taken the example of salt, NaCl. To explain mixture, the example of jelly beans is taken. Why element as copper? Why compound as salt? Why mixture as jelly beans? Let us understand by the next video. Look here, elements. The pictures shows only one kind of molecules. Can you see here? Red molecules or blue molecules, only one kind. That means the element is the simplest pure substance that contains only one kind of particles, be it atoms or you can call it molecules. Only one kind. See the figure. The first box contains only red molecules. That means it shows elements. The second box of elements contains only blue molecules. That means it contains only one kind of particles, be it atoms, be it molecules. Now talking about compound. The first box right here in the compounds shows a fixed proportion. Can you see the first box contains two red balls and one blue balls? That means the ratio is fixed. See, you can see four figures in the first box, and all the four figures contains two red balls and one blue ball. That means it tries to resembles that a compound is a pure substance formed by chemical combination of two or more elements in a definite ratio by mass, right? Definite ratio, two red balls and one blue ball. See the second box of compounds, one red ball and one blue ball in each figure, right? It shows that it contains definite ratio by mass. Coming on to the third category, it is mixtures. Now see mixtures, it is resembling the first box resembles, no ratio is there. Second box again no ratio. Third box again no ratio. That means when two or more pure substances, be it elements, be it compounds, when they are mixed together in any ratio, that means here we do not go by a fixed ratio, right? We go by any ratio. This is called mixture. Moving on, now let us learn the different categories of matter. See, if we look matter is something that has mass and occupies space. We are surrounded by matter all around. Imagine if you are sitting in a room, you are surrounded by many things. Your wardrobe, your almirah, the fan, the AC, the wall, the bed you're sitting on, the sofa you're sitting on, the cushions you're surrounded by, all these are a part of matter. Matter can be classified as living also, non-living also. When we go by living part of matter, we are dealing with the branch of science which is known as biology. When we deal with non-living part of matter, we are dealing with either physics or chemistry, right? Non-living part of matter, how do we categorize? We categorize them as pure substance and mixtures. These mixtures are also known as impure substance. If we call impure substance or we call it mixture, it means the same. Further going into the pure substance are divided into two categories, elements and compounds. Elements are further classified as metals, non-metals, metalloids and noble gases. If we go by mixture side, mixtures are of two kinds, homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Moving on to learn more about matter, which has mass and occupies space. Yes. Let us learn about pure substance. In the pure substance, it contains only one kind of particles, as I told earlier, be it atoms or molecules, right? So we can also say that pure substance is a kind of matter that has only one type of particles. Here I have taken an example of sugar. Sugar is a pure substance. Why? Because it contains only sugar particles, no other particles, only sugar atoms. So that is why sugar is a pure substance, right? Coming on to the next category, that is impure substance. What do we call it? We always call it them mixtures. So what are mixtures? When two or more pure substances, be it elements, be it compounds, right? When two or more pure substances, elements or compounds mix together in any ratio, this is something called mixture, right? So what mixture property contains? In nature, most substances, if you look around, they are impure. They contains two or more substances mixed together. That is why they are known as mixtures, because no definite proportion is there. For example, air, sea water, petroleum, granite rock. So how they are separated? See, we are using different substances in our daily life. We found some of them as mixtures, but surely we separate them to use in the pure form, right? So how they are separated? They can be separated, they can be purified by physical methods or sometimes by chemical methods. Moving on to understand more about mixtures. Mixtures are divided into two categories, heterogeneous mixtures and homogeneous mixtures. What are these heterogeneous mixtures? Right, yeah. Different components are easy to see in this type of blending. See the example. When you can see the blending right here, there is given a salad, right? You can see all the blending differently. So you can just take it out physically. You can separate all the constituents physically. So this is called a heterogeneous mixture. Now coming to homogeneous part. When different components are difficult to see because they are evenly distributed inside the composition, such a mixture is known as homogeneous mixture. For example, coffee. When you mix in a proportion, you mix them thoroughly, right? And the constituents are evenly distributed. So I think you can find more examples, right? Write in the comment box about your own examples. Moving on again to the category of pure substance, which has only one type of particles. We will move to the category of pure substances. First, the category that we have learnt was of elements. What is this element? These elements, these are the simplest pure substances that cannot be broken into two or more simpler substances by any physical or chemical method. Right? For example, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, copper, sodium, zinc, sulfur, mercury, silver, gold. These are the examples of elements. Right? Pure substance is substance that only contain one kind of particle, and the subcategory of it is element. And what is the smallest unit of element? We call it atom. The smallest unit of element is atom. All the atoms in the element exhibit all its properties. It shows all the constituent properties of the element. An element, as we know, that it is made up of only one kind of atoms, right? So if we take the example of iron, so what iron is made up of? If we call iron as an element, so iron is made up of only one kind of atoms, that is iron atoms, and all the atoms in this iron part are identical. That means they look alike. Let us understand more about it. So elements, as I told you, have only one type of atom. So look here, example 1, I have taken oxygen, right? How do we write oxygen? O2. So notice in the box attached to it, they containing same kind, all are represented by red color. All are represented by red color, and you see the size and the shape, right? And you see the complete box, it contains same kind of thing, right? Second, I have taken the example of neon here. So neon, the symbol is Ne, right? And you see the box attached to it, it contains all identical neon atoms. It is symbolized by green color right here, right? So you see the structure, shape, size, and the box contains only neon atoms, no other colored atom. So these shows the elements. Moving on to the part that is called compounds. Now what is a compound? That has definite ratio by mass, as I told you earlier in the starting, right? So pure substance that has two or more elements that make up of one type of particle, right? And it contains definite ratio by mass. That means ratios should be fixed. You need to take the perfect ratio. You cannot take more than that. If you take more or less than that particular ratio, you might not get a compound. So for making a compound, two or more elements or pure substances are mixed in definite ratio by mass. Moving on, so example is given here is salt. Salt, it is a combination of elements such as sodium chloride, which makes it composed of two different elements. Break it. Sodium chloride, sodium and chlorine, sodium and chlorine. To understand more, let us take the simpler examples, that is of water. Water, I believe everybody has seen in the daily life. It is a colorless liquid, right? The body requires it more for the life to go on. So what we can say about it, if we talk about water, so what it contains, water is a compound. It is made up of two elements. Which I think you know it. Yes, hydrogen and oxygen. They combined chemically in the ratio 1:8 by mass, or you can say 2:1 by volume. How 2:1 by volume? See the structure. It contains two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. That means the volume ratio is how much? 2:1. If you will go by the atomic mass part, you will find that the ratio of mass is 1:8. You want more examples? Yeah, let us take one more of carbon dioxide. So in case of carbon dioxide, it is also a compound that is made chemically by combining two elements. Which? Please speak. Which? Carbon and oxygen. Right. Carbon and oxygen in ratio 12:32 by mass and 1:2 by volume. Now again you must be wondering, 1:2 by volume. Look. Carbon is 1 and oxygen is 2. So the volume is 1:2. Yes. So now let us distinguish between Elements and compounds. So elements, these are made up of only atoms. Compounds, these are made up of molecules. Elements, it cannot be disintegrated further into fine particles by any chemical method. Compounds, these can be reduced down to lower substances by using chemical method. Elements, it shows the same properties as that of constituent particles. But compounds, they are chemically mixed together, so the properties of original part will change entirely. That means the properties are totally different from its constituent particles. Example we know: elements, oxygen, hydrogen, etc. Compounds, water, right, made up of oxygen, hydrogen. Right now we have done carbon dioxide, made up of carbon and oxygen. Let us move forward to learn the difference between mixtures and compounds as well. Compounds, it is formed by chemical combination of atoms of the elements. Mixtures, simply mixture substances, right? Physically you can mix it, you will get a mixture. Properties of compound, they're entirely different from the constituent particles. Mixture, because they are physically mixed, so the properties of constituent will be the property of mixture. Composition, compounds have a fixed composition by mass or volume, right? The volume should be fixed, the ratio of volume should be fixed, the ratio of mass should be fixed. Mixtures do not have fixed composition, you can mix in any ratio. Yeah. Compounds, the compounds cannot be separated by physical means because they are chemically combined together. Mixtures, they can be separated, as we have taken the example of salad. Did you remember salad example? You can separate the constituents by physical method, by your hands. Melting points, they have sharp melting points. If I talk about compounds, they are having sharp melting points. Water, melting point is, melting point of ice 0 degrees Celsius, boiling point of water 100 degrees Celsius. Mixtures, they do not have sharp mixed melting and boiling points. Why? Because they are evenly mixed, physically mixed together, right? Now this was the theoretical definition. Now you must be wondering, like ma'am is talking about sodium, iron, carbon dioxide, where they are found in nature, right? If we talk about this matter that we are surrounded by, so where these are found, I don't know, I need to find it out. Yes, I have an answer, children, I have an answer. Yeah, look into the next page. Yeah, so here I'm telling you where different elements or different compounds are found in nature. See, boron, it is used to make sport equipment. Carbon, it is the basis of life's molecules. That means everywhere, if you see plants, carbon is there. If you see our structure, our body structure, our own body structure, carbon you will find there. Animal body structure, carbon. Nitrogen is present in protein molecules. Oxygen you will find in air. Fluorine in toothpaste. Neon, you see sharp neon colors, right? You like them, the bicycles of neon orange, neon green colors, the clothes, right? So these advertising signs and all those sharp symbols, sharp colors, these are neon colors. Next, moving on, aluminium is used to make the body of airplanes. Silicon is found in stone, sand and soil. Phosphorus is found in the body bones. Sulfur is found in eggs. Chlorine you can find in swimming pool water. You have more chlorine, you will feel it to be kinky water. Argon, it is found in light bulbs. Gallium, it is used to make LEDs, light emitting diodes. Germanium, it is used to make semiconductors in the electronics. Arsenic, it is a big poison. Selenium, it is used to make copiers. Next, bromine, it is used in photographic films. Krypton, it is used in flashlights. I have more. Yeah, look here. Potassium, if you talk about, it is found in fruits and vegetables. Calcium, it is found in shells and bones. Scandium, it is used to make bicycle parts. Titanium, it is used to make the aerospace parts. Vanadium, it is used to make springs, which is highly flexible. Rubidium, it is used in global navigation. Strontium, it is used to make fireworks. Yttrium, it is used to make glaciers. Zirconium, it is used to make chemical pipelines. Niobium, it is used to make maglev trains. Cesium, it is used to make atomic clocks. Barium, it is used to make X-ray diagnosis. Next, so there are some rare earth materials. If we talk about the categories in atomic, if we talk about the categories in the periodic table from 57 to 71. Next is hafnium. It is used to make nuclear submarines. Next is tantalum. This is used to make mobile phone equipments. Now we have certain more things. Palladium, it is used to control air pollution. Silver, jewelry, right? Cadmium, it is used to make paints, acrylics. Platinum, you have jewelry also of it, but it is generally used to in the lab equipments. Next, gold, we used to wear as jewelry, we like it. Mercury, it is used in thermometers. So now children, we can all together learn the difference between elements, compounds and mixtures. Have a look. Moving on to the next part, we will study about the symbols of certain elements. What is a symbol? A symbol is an abbreviation or short representation of an element, right? For example, hydrogen is having symbol H, helium He, lithium Li, beryllium Be, boron B, carbon C, nitrogen N, oxygen O, fluorine F, neon Ne. Sodium, because of its Latin name, the symbol is Na, magnesium Mg, aluminium Al, silicon Si, phosphorus P, sulfur S, chlorine Cl, argon Ar, potassium, because of its Latin name kalium, it is K, calcium Ca. Now we will learn about certain chemical formulas of the element. Now chemical formula is symbolic representation of number of atoms that constitute a particular molecule of the element. For hydrogen, the chemical formula is H2. Now 2 here represents number of atoms in that particular molecule. So 2 atoms are there in H2. Similarly, oxygen, the chemical formula is O2, iodine I2, nitrogen N2, fluorine F2, chlorine Cl2, bromine Br2, ozone O3, phosphorus P4, sulfur S8. Now you must be wondering, like, it is written H2, then sometimes O3 we are learning. So what is this? Now let me tell you, these are kind of molecules, right? We are having different kind of molecules. These may be monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic and polyatomic. Molecules that contain only one kind of atom, these are monoatomic. Molecules that contain 2 atoms are known as diatomic. Molecules that contain 3 atoms, ozone O3, right? This is triatomic. Molecules that contain more than 4 atoms, right? These are polyatomic, like sulfur S8, phosphorus P4. Yeah, these are polyatomic. Moving on, we will also learn about the chemical formula of different compounds. Compounds, I told you, that is made up of or that contains 2 or more elements or pure substances chemically combined together in a definite ratio by mass, right? So when we talk about water, the chemical formula is H2O, which shows that it contains 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. CO2, it contains 1 atom of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen. Nitrogen dioxide, NO2. Calcium oxide, CaO. Zinc chloride, ZnCl2. Sodium chloride, NaCl. Potassium hydroxide, KOH. So children, I think we have gained so much of information about it, right? Theoretical information as well as the practical information, the information that we can see or we are surrounded by in our daily lives. So thanks a lot children. I hope you liked the video. Please comment and Tell us, what did you like the most?